Hi everyone, I am back to sort out my personal journal and the clock is running out, and as you can see I've started using it for next week. This is how I use my personal journal. I'll have a page for writing on, writing my thoughts about the day. I have a section here for meetings. I have a section here to write my tasks for the day, and they are personal tasks, that's work related. I've got a 30-day plan list here, and I've got a series of goals, I guess, based on 4 areas, which I've got a list of, which might be helpful. Oh, here we are. So there we are. There's the areas: health and fitness, personal development, financial, and doodling, which is what I call my crafting. So I'll put what I want to do in each of those areas for that day in there, and then I have a gratitude list, and that's what I do every day. On the weekend, that's Friday. On the weekend, then I'll just have my gratitude, my day, my 30-day plan, and my tasks and my writing, and I do that every single day pretty much without fail. But time is running out because I need to be doing this. And what I watched this morning was BumbleBeeCrafts, and she has done a tutorial for the Be Summer Inspired collaboration, and I loved what she did. So I'm going to pinch one of her ideas because it'll be perfect for the back here, for the back page. And her idea was to make a notebook out of a tag. Okay. Now, one of the things I wanted to have a chat about while I'm thinking about what I need here is, I don't know about what other people think about crafting, but I know I suffer with overwhelm, and I'll watch loads of YouTube videos, I'll look on Instagram, I'll be on Facebook in our group, I'll look at so much and get so many ideas that it just cripples me, and I don't know how to start. And then when I'm under pressure, like I am now, to get my personal journal up and running so that I can use it next week, instead of getting on with things and sorting it out, I just sit there and watch more videos. But because I feel a commitment to share what I'm doing with my subscribers, and thank you to all the new subscribers and existing subscribers, I really, really appreciate your support. So because I do feel a commitment to you guys, I want to get on and make things and show you what I'm doing. So this is what I'm trying to do today. And some of the videos, what I might do is join them together to make them a decent size, and then others I may just keep really short and sweet. Okay, so back to BumbleBeeCrafts. She made a lovely tag notebook, and I'm going to use this sheet of paper and put it into a tag shape because I want a fairly large tag, and I haven't fussy cut anything out of the kit. So this page is from the Nana's Roses kit with RachandBella Crafts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this. It is coffee dyed on the back, but that doesn't matter. So I want a decent size tag, really. And I did think of, if I put it in half and then half again, will that be, yeah, see, it'll be a bit too thin, so I can't do it like that. So I'm just going to measure it to the size that I want, and I've got some strips of paper here. And that was the other thing I wanted to mention about being overwhelmed, is really trying to narrow down what you're going to use. So I have got some really, really minimum supplies on this desk. I've just got some scraps. I've got a couple of pink stamps. I've got a little cluster I've made that might go with this. I've just got one fussy cut there, little bits of fabric, and these papers. So I'm going to use these papers in the notebook. And I kind of want the tag about the same size, I guess, or slightly bigger, so that's about right. Yeah, let's go with this. Let's stop faffing about and let's go with this. So I'm just gonna use my ruler here. And glue this down. I'm going to sew around this. I'm not going to bother doing the edges. But if you're not going to sew, then you'll need to go all the way around the edge with some decent glue. I find this Anita's tacky glue really good. Okay, slightly out there, but hey, you should know me by now. I'm really not that bothered. What do I want? Right, so what I want to do, so this is going to be folded down, but I'm going to be covering that anyway, but I don't want to fold it down and see that poor little girl's head, so I'm going to fold it down like that. So that's going to be the inside and that's going to be the outside. Let's do the tag shape. Oh, sad I got to cut those little flowers off, but hey, that's life. I'm just going to grab my ink pad. And I'm using Vintage Photo. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold these in and then bring it down. And then what I was going to do was I was going to just sew across there. That's my thinking on it. Okay, so I can't really have too much paper in here because it's going to get too bulky. I want some of this because I think that's nice and scrappy. I've got some tea stained paper there. And I would like a bit of blue paper. I think that would look really pretty, so maybe I'll just have that on top. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 strips of paper, and they'll have to go in, so I'll just bring that like that. Okay, so I've got to think about this now because I'm going to sew. Am I going to sew down there and there? That probably would make sense, wouldn't it? So I need to sew across there first. And then sew all the way around. That's my thinking. And then I can chop those off. If you're not sewing, you could either staple that across. You could do a very simple 3-hole pamphlet stitch like you would a journal when you bind a journal. What else could you do? You could use brads and put holes in. Now my next question is, do I decorate before I sew? So I'm thinking of just doing something simple. So I could just, plonk that on top, and I think that would look really pretty. I've got a little piece of, this is inkjet. It's one of Rachel's kits. I think it's, it's the Valentine's one she brought out. I can't remember the name now. And what I've done is I've printed it with my inkjet printer onto fabric. And that would look quite pretty. Very grungy though, isn't it? I've got that flower there. Got a bit of pink. I got a bit of lace. See, I'm already faffing about, and that's quite pretty, isn't it, with the lace? And that's really pretty with the lace. Maybe I'll do that. think it even needs that back in. I think that looks really pretty, just like that. And I think that little bit of fabric there goes nice with that sort of tealish blue there. So that's what I'm going to do. So, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I've got flies coming in the window. I'm going to pop that on before I sew, and then I'll glue this on afterwards. So I'm just going to pop that on there with a little bit of glue stick. I think this would look really nice just sewn there, to be honest. But I'm thinking if I sew down there, then it'll be secure. But my other thought is, how am I going to attach it to my journal? So I could try and find my journal somewhere. Oh, where's my signature? Here it is. No, that's not the one. Here it is, right in front of me. So what I could do, if I didn't sew that and that, then I would actually be able to clip that on there and then use that. And I could decorate that as well because it's really pretty. Yes. And then when I want to write notes, I can just slip it out and I got that as a notebook. Yeah, I think that's what we need to do. Definitely. Okay. So what I need to do then before I sew is think about what I want to do on this side. And it is, oh, to be honest, it's lovely anyway. Now, let's just get those scrappy bits off first. And what I'll do is I'll grab my tearing ruler. And we'll go from the back. So I want a little tiered look. Not too much because I don't want to lose too much scrap. And what would be nice is to add, you could add some nice little embellishments on the edges there. Or you could add some fabric or lace. I'm not going to because I really don't need it in my journal. If I had a little bit more time, maybe I would. Or maybe I'll do it later. Okay, so I'll make sure they're straight before I go and sew. And what BumbleBeeCrafts did as well, which was really nice, was she rounded the page edges there. Sorry, the tag edge. So I could do that just simply by folding this, maybe. And just snipping the edge off. And then just going around it. Oh yeah, that's rounded. Job done. Okay, so what do I want to do on here then? So could add a bit of blue in, couldn't I? And I've still got this little bit that I haven't used. So maybe I could just do it the right way up though. And something like that. Oh, I think that blue's a bit too much. So I've got this nice bit of fabric, I think. I've got this little bit left, and I've got that little bit. Oh, I think that's simple enough, isn't it? I wouldn't mind a little bit of, oh, I've got these scraps here I forgot about. Ooh. about that? Yeah, I think that looks nice. Right, okay. I can see that there's some not very nice words there. Constipation, bowels. It's not swearing, so I'll let it go. I can't see any swear words on there right now. Let's do some. Just want to make this a little bit more vintagey. I can see the white background too much. And I think I'll use the tacky glue. Oh, stay there. On here. Okay, I like that little bit there. I'm not going to cut that off. Let's just glue that down. Okay. Let's make sure this is glued down as well. I've covered the constipation and the loo words. That's great. Okay. So that's that side, and then we'll have the paper in this side, and then I'm going to put that on there, and I will switch on my glue gun for that. And do I need a bit of pink there as well? Oh yes. Oh yes, yes. I'll have a bit of pink there as well. So I'll just pop that there. Got a bit of scrappy pink. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over to my sewing machine. I'm going to quickly sew around this. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just sew around the edge, and I'll be back for the finishing touches. Okay, so it's sewn. So what I did was I firstly took this and put it in a safe place. And I sewed just around some scrappy stitches there on the corner, and then put the paper back in and then sewed around there. So this is what you get. So what I need to do now is I need to trim those off. And trim off the edges there. I don't want to trim that bit off. Just keep that on. Okay, let's tidy up a bit. Keep that to one side. Okay, and what I need to do now is glue that on there. And what I will do, if I can find it, is just put a little bit of distress on the edges. This is made from the glue stick, and there is a video by Treasure Books that I watched where she uses, not glue stick, glue gun, where she uses the glue gun to make seals, and mine turned out horribly. So what I did was I cut round it, and I then put 2 holes in it and just made a button. Okay, so I'm going to give this a good dosing of my glue gun to make sure that it stays on, because it's gonna It's going to be used as a hinge. So there we go. And that is a scrappy notebook, courtesy of BumbleBeeCrafts. So I will put a link to her video in the description box below. And I hope you enjoyed this. And let's just have a look at this. Pop it back on. So that's what it's going to be seen like that. And what I also could do, which is great about this, is I can still use this to write on, and I've got some notes, some spare paper for notes as well. I could even attach it like that. There you go. Hope you enjoy.